Dessie, Mone, welcome to the podcast.
Not sure saying too bad.
Not too bad. So, before we kind of get chatting to football, we've been sort of chatting about where we are right now. So we're in like the Ramfit headquarters. If people don't know what that is, describe to them, because in my mind's kind of been blown open with this stuff.
It's two boys that own it. One is actually my brother John Paul Mone, and then Dermot Carroll, probably two former players at Mone, set up this company, Ramfit. It's a multi-functional tool. It's cross between a roller, and then you can do a lot of exercise with it as well. The reason you can do a lot of exercises with it is because it's weighted. There's different weights to it. Starts from 5 kg, goes up to 25 kg, 30 kg.
Yeah.
So it's very good for functional training, indoor or outdoor.
Yeah, like originally, because I'd always thought that it was nearly more like a balance thing or a foam roller. And then like there's one sitting here in front of me that's like 30, 40 kg, so you can do presses, and it's like what round burpees are doing like the Spartan races. That's like one of the big uses for it now, don't it as well?
Yeah, so what the two lads have got into, or this company has came to them and seen their product, and now they're in a race called the Spartan.
Yeah.
Spartan race is a massive, it's worldwide actually, and especially in America, and then there's a new race coming up as well called the Decafit race, and then Camp Gladiator. This is all American-based companies took on board, and they're using it. So as part of the Spartan race, it's called the Spartan Round Burpee. So there's the big lads now would use the 25 kg, and then even there's ladies there. I'm noticing they're using it as well. So there's different races in it. So there's your fight, there's a sprint race, there's a 10k race, there's a 20k race in it. But it's really took off there in America, and I actually use it. I've started up fitness classes and I'm actually using it because it saves me taking kettlebells, dumbbells, barbells. I can do all them movements with the different weights that brand offers.
Yeah, I never realised that it could do that. I think it's like incredibly random how like a wee factory in Mone town is supplying like these bigger races all over America. Like how random that is. Like
it's probably really exciting for the two lads. But John Paul's always in the sales, so I can see why he's got into these type of companies, because he's good at the talking. He probably never stops talking, but he's good at talking. He's good at the sales angle, and the Americans are loving it at the minute. And then you've Dermot there. Dermot is mad at his fitness as well, so he probably comes up with all the, it's good. Dermot comes up with all the movements and different training styles that you can do with it. It works out brilliant. Works out brilliant for me because it's working out good for my classes at the minute. So it's fantastic, you know.
And then they actually make the GP gloves here, the Gaelic Performance gloves as well.
Yeah, they make the gloves there, and the Gaelic Performance gloves are, so they've got a good combination with the roller and the gloves.
Yeah.
And the gloves are flying at the door as well for them.
I remember it must have been like 2012, 2013, because I remember I think Michael Murphy was wearing them in the All Ireland.
Yeah.
And in mine, I don't know how I remember, but there was an offer at the time for like 3 for £20 or €20 pairs.
Yeah.
And I think everyone in their club got one. Like they're brilliant. Like,
no, they're flying out the door.
It's like the old blue and pink ones.
Yeah,
I think they're obviously a bit more advanced now.
Yeah, they've moved on. They kind of look at the American market, the way the type of NFL gloves kind of take an NFL glove type. Just fits on your hand perfect there. I used it last season there, and then I think I had a summer one there as well.
Right.
So it was quite good, but I just didn't have the guts to wear it during the heat of the summer, you know.
It's just not there, not ready for that yet.
No.
So how's retirement been going?
Yeah, retirement. I thought it would have been, you know, I thought I would have been missing the county season a lot more. I probably have kept myself busy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as I said earlier, I started up my own fitness classes there, which they've kept me very busy there, and they've been going well. I've actually probably been going to matches. As I said, I went actually a Derry Down match on Saturday night, on a cold Saturday night. Myself and Vinnie Corey took down. Probably wanted just to pick up ideas of how the two different style of managers play the football, and then taking a Dublin Kerry match, and then obviously I've been going to watch the Mone lads. Probably the first match I went to, I said I wasn't going to go to the championship match because I probably couldn't go stand and watch it, rather be in playing. But fair enough, I got broke into a daisy there. I did a wee bit of radio work for the local station there, and they asked me to come down just to do the McKenna Cup final with them. And funny enough, I just parked the car a good bit away from the stadium because usually I'd be bussed in and left right to the door. So I found it a wee bit different doing that. But as I was walking into the stadium, I definitely felt it was like the weight of the world was off the shoulders, the pressure was off, no anxiety, no thinking of what am I going to do, what if I make this mistake, what if this guy kicks a goal and 3 points on me today, what's the crowd going to think? You know, that was all taken away from me. Yeah. Although I enjoyed all that aspect of it, I enjoyed the challenge and the pressure. But as I was just walking in, I just felt there was a spring in my step, and you know, still going in and smiling in my face, going in to watch Mone play. And you know, that night, the Auntie tried a lot of new lads there, which was good to watch, and I kind of, you know, it's not too bad to watch them. But when I seen probably the red jersey thrown, I kind of wanted to be out there as well. Things were getting tight, same as the one in Dublin game. You'd love being out in Croke Park, things like that. There, that's probably what I'm going to probably miss. Things get tight matches, but days out in Croke Park, you know, it's no better place to play your football and stadium in Croke Park.
What's that like? You know, those days in Croke Park, because you've had some big days there. Like, what's that like? You know, when you're going up to the stadium, you're driving up in the bus, and you're running out. Like, what's that experience like?
It's
that's me being a professional, not my phone inside it. Apologies.
I suppose going up to Croke Park, you know, it's an exciting feeling. There's no better thing. I tell you, you'd never get sick going up to Croke Park and play. Yeah. You can even see the last match, Tyrone and Mone and Dublin, and the way the football was played. You can see boys who were enjoying it out in Croke Park. Yeah. And the experience going up there, you know, into the warm-up area, the change rooms, getting to walk out before the match starts. You see what the pitch is like, and then just looking around at the stadium. Yeah. You know, it was an awesome feeling. It was a fantastic feeling. Just you know, put the hairs on the stand on the back of your neck, and you know, things like that. But wearing your Mone jersey, running out in Croke Park, and your family watching you, it's no better feeling.
I'm sure as well, like, because whenever you grow up and you play, like, that's the pinnacle, like, is going to play in Croke Park for your own county. Yeah. It must be like, is it weird kind of living that out? Because you always sort of think about it.
Well, I probably got a taste for it. I think with my primary school Gaelic Club done, I got that. We had won the wee mini sevens one school out primary school competition in Mone, and then we got to go on to Ulster. It was like a try match to get to play in Croke Park at half time. And lucky enough, me and all that got picked. And it was the Meath Tyrone semi-final. I got to play at half time, and that match I still have the jersey. It was number 9. The Meath jersey still at home. I think I got a taste for that day. Just going up, even walking down.
The noise.
Even walking down, the noise, the people, the excitement. Fantastic buzz. I think that's where it just really kicked in for me. Yeah. And from that day, that was 96. So it was, really got a buzz out there from it.
Would they, the good Merit teams got the All-Ireland semi-final, quarter-final, Tyrone?
Got to the quarter-finals a good few times. I was supposed with Malachy with a lot of quarter-finals, and then we finally got to the semi-final against Tyrone. Probably, you know, just very lucky. I felt that year, the Mone squad in total level was playing really good football. The football were really good, and our confidence were good going into the match. You know, we just lost by a point that day. You know, things just didn't go right for us. It's probably always well with ourselves in Tyrone. It's not the most attractive football. It's all tit for tat in the matches. It's always very tactical, and you know, we did. Probably was a bit of regret that we never got into that final that day. But you know, there's no guarantees in sports. You know. I always said, if we lose a match, you know, I don't make excuses for losing. You know, we just weren't good enough. We just didn't play that well as we could have that day. Yeah. especially the year that we were having football, that boys were playing. It's just a pity that we didn't get into that.
It's always disappointing looking back on it, but it's one of them things. You don't do it in a day. That's just the way it is.
Well, that's why I always am. If you don't do it in a day, but then it's not. You don't have the divine right to get into these finals. You have to play well in the day, and that's just the bottom line.
Was that the infamous game where Sean Kavanagh dragged?
No, that was back in 13. That was back in 13. Yeah, that was back in 13. That was the famous tackle that Kavanagh made on Manzi that day.
Joe wasn't happy with that one.
No, she's never happy.
What do you think about, like, when you hear commentators making comments about players? Like, I don't mean specifically Joe Bradley, but I mean, when you hear that being criticism, like, in your mind, you're like, okay, there's a bit of truth to that, or you're like, what the fuck do you know?
I suppose the thing about playing Gaelic, or probably any sport, I think that it's good for you, anybody who listens to this, it's good to get yourself involved in team sports or any type of sport, because you learn how to be resilient, especially, well, for me, I know on the pitch, I know, how they call it, sledging and stuff like that. There's a lot of it went on when I started off. There's a lot of it going on, a lot of off the ball stuff, and I think over a period of time, you learn a lot through football, through matches, and then when you hear a comment outside the pitch, or if a opponent makes a comment about your team or about yourself, I always took it with a pinch of salt. I never took it serious,
Yeah.
I always, we have different psychologists down through the years. We had some good ones, and I remember just one saying, he says, words can't hurt you. That's, if you keep things simple, if you don't overthink things, and if you don't, take things to heart, he said that simple line to me, and I always took it with me. And I said, sure, listen, if you want to say it, let him say it. It's not gonna. You shouldn't let it affect you, and if it affects you, maybe just be a wee bit better in your resilience, what people say to you.
Yeah, I think as well, like, from like a club level playing, you obviously get a lot of, I think it's in every area, you get the boys in the bar still that be able to tell you what you did wrong and stuff, and I think whenever you're younger, you tend to listen to it maybe a wee bit too much, and as you get older, I know, like, if somebody says something to me and they weren't playing, unless it is something productive, I'll be like, right, I don't really care what you're saying. But if it's people that's on the pitch with you, the management, you take it on board because they understand what's actually going on. But anyone could sit from the sideline and make a comment or a call, but it's a different story when you're actually down there on the pitch.
Yeah, I suppose, listen, that's part and parcel of the sport in general, especially probably Gaelic football, the bar stool talk. You just have to learn over years, and I suppose as you get older, you learn to, as you said there, you learn to block it out. You learn to block the negativity that's surrounding the comments that's coming towards you, and you just have to let it go over your head, and you just have to smile and agree with them when they're saying it. But I think that's all part of growing up, and that's all part of learning how to deal with them situations. Lucky enough, I never let it affect me. It never bothered me, and I was lucky enough that way.
Yeah, you're probably fortunate as well that you finished up whenever social media became so big, and now anybody is like a pundit, and anyone can say anything. Very different now for players, where you could go on Twitter and anybody could write anything about you.
Yeah, well, that's the thing now. Funny enough, when we made our announcement just before Christmas, I got a lot of nice things said on the social media. So I was lucky enough, as you said, social media's got a lot bigger now, and people are quick to say, comment on matches and give their views. I know, listen, it's tough, and it's probably not easy for young lads or anybody. If they're going to read it, it's not going to be easy for them to read that, especially the social medias now. Everybody's a pundit and everybody's writing and their views. I was probably lucky enough that way. I've probably taught myself not to look at that stuff, especially during championship time. All I would have been focused on is getting that win and how I was going to mark my man. That's all I cared about. Outside, you can't control what's happening outside of the pitch, but you can control what's happening inside the dressing room, control what's happening on the pitch that day. So I think it's very important for young lads. You can't control that, but on game day and coming up to weeks leading up to your important matches, you can control that. If if you're listening to the boys in bar stools or people making these comments or looking at it, well, you can control that. Don't be in that situation. Don't put yourself in that situation, and you do just fine.
Yeah, I think it's obviously something that takes a bit of time to develop and get, but it's, I'd say as you've went on your career, you've got obviously a lot better from the first day you went out and played doing that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I remember going on to the county scene. I think it was just turning 19 at the time with this asked on to it, and we did okay that year. We got to the under 21 Ulster final, and then a few of us were asked in to the senior setup after, and I think the following year, 2004, you beat Armagh they won the All Ireland 2003, and Mone came beat them in 2004. And you probably, as a young lad, after beating them, and then you're walking around town and people clapping your back and sort of things are great. And then you're out the next time you lost against Down in the semi-final, and then you're seeing people torn on doing, you weren't so good things like that there. So over a period of time, you learn,
You learn how to deal with it.
You learn how to deal with it, and if you win, it's no big deal. You just prepare for the next match. Then you're not winning a title. If you win a championship match, you just want to get into that final or put your best foot forward.
Yeah. So, what led to the retirement then?
I suppose I probably looked at my. Probably the big thing is injury wise, I was 100%. I was lucky enough over the years. I'd never any hip problems or hamstrings or grinds. Only injury I had was actually towards the end of the year when I broke my hand in a club league match, and then probably went back a wee bit too early. I actually broke it against Derry in the McKenna Cup semi-final. That was in 16. So I did that in 16, and we broke it in 17. And I was out for 3 months, and that was only big injuries. But then probably last year, I was chatting to different boys that were tired, and then I hear down the line 5 or 6, 10 years down, boys were getting hip operations, injuries. And I didn't want to go down that route of having them issues. I kind of always kept myself in good shape and looked after myself well. So I thought it was the right time. Probably there's a lot of young lads coming through in the Mone pan as well, and I probably thought, listen, probably could have went another year, but it's probably you have to give other young lads a chance as well.
Yeah.
There's no point maybe me coming on if I was starting or not starting, or maybe me coming on in matches. Just look the age profile. There's no point in me, but there's young lads that deserve a chance to come on. And probably the way Kilturb finished last year as well, win the championship. It was a nice way to finish it off.
Yeah.
I think it was a nice way just to pull the pin as well, win another club championship.
How do you deal with the thought that what if Mone won Ulster Championship this year? Is that good?
There's a very good chance as well.
Where you're I want another run at that there, another bite at it, or do you just have to be I'm content with where I'm?
Listen, I always say any decision to make, I make sure I'm content with it, I'm happy with it, and I'd love to see Mone win another Ulster title. It would be great and go further on. But there's a team, there's new management in there, and they wanted to put their own authority on a new squad of players there as well. I'd be delighted if Mone turn around and all those sorts. It's only good for Mone football. I have nephews now, nieces and nephews. They're hitting 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10 years of age. They were coming along to the Mone matches, and it's great for them, and it takes them on as well, because they want to play football, and hopefully down the line we'll be playing football, but they want to play football, and that's what you want, young kids seeing Mone and doing well, and you need that comparative young people coming through.
Yeah, and I think you made your debut in 2004, is that correct?
2004, yeah.
2004, I did my homework. To stay injury-free, relatively injury-free in that time is impressive. What was your kind of training week like? Because you obviously must have done a bit of stuff yourself, or do you think you were just lucky?
No, I definitely am a firm believer. I know you go to your training session on a Tuesday, Friday night, but I still don't believe that's enough for especially for young lads even coming up. Even when you're still playing, no matter if you're in your 20s or 30s, you still have to do your bit on your own during the week. If you get that's an extra session, an extra 2 sessions in. I always felt playing a match on a Sunday, you want to recover as quick as you can, because you don't want to be going in and training on a Tuesday night fatigued, and maybe it takes you half an hour to get going. You want to be ready to go on that 8 o'clock on the dot. And I also probably thought over the winter time as well. I was never in the mindset of have a good off season. I always kept training over off season, so when I was coming back from off season, I wasn't in a slogging match. It didn't take me 2 or 3 months to go back to fitness again, and I always thought I never picked up any injuries during that. Off season.
Body was constantly moving.
Yeah, pre-season, my body was relatively in good enough shape, so I thought that was a big, as I would say, keep things simple. You don't, if you go back to training and you're slogging, it's going to be hard on your body, and to do that year after year after year.
The stop-start of it, like.
The stop-start of it would take a toll on the body, but if you weren't to do that, your body's used to it, your body's conditioned to it, and I always find that I had that an awful lot.
Yeah, like I know, like myself, like I'll always train as soon as the season finishes. You just keep training, just because it's kind of part of your everyday. I think you're right. You can be one of them people that just train normally, but you see, I think some lads will just take a big break.
Yeah.
I think it nearly does the opposite of make you better. If anything, as you say, like that start, you do nothing and then go and do a pile of stuff, your chance of injury goes up massively.
But I definitely give myself 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
This is my thing. I'm not saying it's the right or wrong thing. I don't have a Bible on it, but I did what works for my. I always did work for my body. I take a 2 week break as soon as the football's over. I definitely take 2 week downtime of no training whatsoever.
Yeah.
Just relax and do your things, or stay away from training of any type, and then after 2 weeks I just gradually get back into it, and that's why I'm not saying it's the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do, but I always say do what's right for your body, do what works for you, and that's, you always have to find out what that type of training suits you in the gym or outside, things like that there.
And so if you were doing your 2 or 3 pitch sessions with Mone, would you have been doing 2 or 3 gym sessions, or what would your kind of schedule have been like, say in those last couple of years you're playing?
Those are the last couple of years. Lucky enough, I'm a PE teacher in Largy College in Clonus there, and the principal was very, very good and accommodating of letting us, the school, the PE department, change around the gym facility.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic for the kids as well, because we made it more into a functional gym.
Yeah.
Easy for kids to use, and it was a good way for me as well to get my recovery in, and then do my extra sessions. I'd always mix it up. I just wasn't always about lifting. I always try and incorporate skills in as well in between. If you're doing a bit of lifting, I always try and have a Gaelic football.
Yeah.
Up in the gym and work on your left and right and your.
It's interesting you say that, because I was up at Ulster Rugby the other week, and in their gym they have a big massive space in the middle where they have the racks all around the sides. They'll do the strength work and then they come in and they'll do some sort of skill work, whether it be passing or working on the tackle or something.
Yeah, sometimes I think a lot of S&C or I know there's a lot of stuff, as you were saying earlier, but so much social media and so much things going up in that about lifting and seeing how big you can lift and all that. I think it's always important. At the end of the day, Gaelic football is about skill.
Yeah.
It really is about skill, and if you can incorporate a couple more sessions in a week, be out in a pitch session, or else if you're in the gym, if you want to get yourself bigger or whatever, it does no harm taking a Gaelic football or your hurley or your sliotar up, or your tennis ball, or your coordination, and take it up in the gym. Working your fist pass and left and right, and working your kick pass and left and right up against the wall. It's the thing when you're learning football, when you're growing up, you're right. When your parents tell you go outside and play, you grab the ball and you practice with your left and right foot up against the wall. There's no difference in doing that in the gym. But I really took it into the gym sessions actually. Which the last, you always try and find different ways. How can next year when you come back off season, how can you
What
improve?
can you improve?
What can you improve on? You know.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. Like I think the thing with the gym too is that it's kind of taken me a long time to realise that I'm doing the gym to complement playing football, not two separate things.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times when you try and do them separately, they take one from the other. Whereas like this season, probably last season, the focus of my gym work is it's trying to keep me injury free and trying to make me a wee bit faster, a wee bit stronger on the ball. But if it starts to take away from that there, kind of like you're saying, or if it starts to overtake it, it's probably not going to be. It's probably going to be a disadvantage of anything.
Yeah.
Just trying to learn that balance, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I definitely, it definitely is trying to get that balance right. So you don't want to not do your skills as well. Just you can't keep going into the gym. Well, my thinking is you can't keep going in the gym and keep lifting and lifting and lifting, because I think your body just gets too used to it. And then you go out on the pitch, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think your body would be reacting quick or reacting right to it. So I think it's important if you do go into the gym is be adaptive. You know, I think Gaelic football is a unique sport. You know, not taken away from any other sports. You know, I enjoy all sports, but you know, nearly every Pacific's other sport. You know, if you're a player, you're in a specific role, and you're that's your role. In Gaelic football, you have to be good at your skills. You have to be good at being athletic. You have to be strong. Your agility wise has to be good. You know, you have so many different things you're trying to improve on in Gaelic football. The other sports, once in rugby, you know.
Rugby, American football, it's just
not everybody has to.
A lot of athleticism.
Not everybody has to throw it. Not everybody has the specific roles on that team. And in Gaelic football, you have many different roles. So you have a cornerback expected to score now. You have corner forward has to tackle back and get back up the pitch. You know, there's really no break in Gaelic football. I don't know. I feel like my American sports now, and you've been to American football matches and basketballs, and they do get the recovery time period during the matches. And Gaelic football, you don't really, you know, so you have to be mindful of that.
Yeah, I think we're only kind of getting to learn about strength and conditioning with Gaelic now. You know, within the past couple of years, people are starting to learn what we should be doing, what we shouldn't be doing, because it's a new sport for strength and conditioning, and you're sort of drawing things from AFL, but they're still learning too. You know, I think we're still very much in the early stages of doing strength and conditioning. One thing that I try and do is not say this is the way to do it or this isn't, because it changes that much. Like, you know, a couple of years you might say doing squats and deadlifts is actually terrible, and we don't know. Like, you can make a good guess that it's not the case, but I think, as you say, you have to be open to different ideas and different ways of doing things to kind of progress on further.
Yeah, well, that's it too. You look at basketball now. Everybody's looking at basketball now because of their movement and coaching over the basketball teams in the school ground. I can see there is a good correlation there between the two sports of basketball and Gaelic football, because there is a lot of movement in basketball. That's you know, again, that's just being adapted. Can you look at other sports that's going to
draw something from it?
Yeah, it's going to help your football career. You know, I think that's very important as well for young lads coming up. You know, look at other sports and see what you can take from it, and see, you know, NFL. Look at their feet work. You know, how you improve your feet work. It's, you know, the size of some NFL players and the speed that the way they can move their feet. You know, it's the simple things like that. There, you know. Again, a lot of people put stuff up on the media, and you have to do this. You know, keep it simple is the best way to go forward. You know.
It must be kind of interesting for you, like thinking back in 2004 when you came into now. Like, what's the difference in terms of the training, strength conditioning, all that? Like, is it completely different?
Yeah. Well, back when I came in at the start, there's no strength and conditioning really whatsoever. I think myself and Vinny Corey would go into the gym, and we'd have no program, no nothing. And we would just start lifting because we knew two of us probably wanted to further on a career, inter-county career. And we got the buzz from minor level and amateur club as well, because we'd won a few titles in club football and minors, and then Ulster as well. And I got a taste for it again. And I just wanted to keep it going. And you know, and you coming in the senior, and you needed to get bigger. You know, and that was just, I took upon myself, just going into the gym. Again, I tried to do a bit of research, what could I do, or what, listen to them, you know, probably when I was in there at the start 18, 19, 20, I can probably be doing everything completely wrong. But the difference is now is these development squads, you know, you have strength and conditioning coaches, I know what Mone there, they have a great setup there, you know, they have a strength and conditioning coach in there now, but that all had a lad in there, so when the boys are coming out, so, you know, 14, 15, 16, you know, they've been taught the proper techniques, which is massive to young lads nowadays, and now when they come into like the under 20s or the senior setup, you know, they're conditioned enough, you know, I think, to play straight away. Probably maybe put a bit of weight, a bit more weight stuff, thing like that there, but you know, they're ready to come in to know how to do things properly in the gym. I know last year when we were down just prepping before we went to train, sometimes the young lads would be in and you could see their movements, they're doing things right. And that's the difference between when I was growing up and it is now. I'm probably looking at Arnold Fletcher or something like that. See what tips I could get. That's right. Kind of was look different. Just trying to pick up tips and things like that. But look enough, you know, I always said it kind of stood to me doing that. You know, because I was fit. I was really fit for senior football. You know.
Yeah, it's crazy because I started our dairy under 15s in the past couple of weeks in the gym. It's like just going over the basic movements, and I think back, you know, whenever, like I was in the gym with that thing, my brothers had brought me into the gym, but other people would never have done anything like that. Whereas these lads now will get this year of going through all those basic movements, will be able to progress them on pretty quickly. They go into 16s, progress on further, and then at 17s. Like at the minor level, we had a couple of lads at the start of the year were able to bench like 100k for 3 reps, and they're 17. It's like you'd be happy if you're a senior player.
Yeah, you'd be happy if you're a senior player if you're doing a max rep.
Those young lads now are just they've got so much development over the years, and I think just coaching as well improves too. So it is of interest to see how all them development squads and those players turn out over the next kind of 5-10 years.
Yeah, it's probably like getting them all them players through. That's going to be you're hopeful that a lot of them players are going to come through now. I suppose especially for one of you, all them young lads.
Yeah.
But you can see one in their 17s, their last 2 years in a row. So it is, you know, it seems to be working for one, and you know, hopefully they can progress it on.
Hopefully not at the expense of dairy now. One of the things I wanted to chat about was your diet. I remember watching a game, I think he's maybe been playing Donegal, and one of the commentators said that before a game you ate porridge and strawberries. And for about a solid 2 months I had porridge and strawberries before a game. Was there any truth to that there, or was he just chatting shit?
No, I would eat before matches, stuff like that, or relentlessly. Again, nutrition, I really got big into nutrition, especially over the last decade or so. I do think it's very important, or else you're some lucky lad, you can eat what you want and then still play with it. But I do still think nutrition has an important role to play, especially with younger lads. You know, teaching them the wrongs and rights of eating. You know, I always say when you go into the shopping centre, you know, to your right you have all your good food, and to your left you have all your processed, you have all your packaged food. So it's making that right decision of what aisle you want to go down. Do you want to go down the nice one with all the good food, or do you want to go down the bad one with all the processed food and different stuff like that there? Nutrition wise, I got into bacon, you know, making your own protein balls, your banana bread, stuff like that there. What I've done this last, especially, we would have got a good couple of nutritionists in, got really 2 good ones in there this last few years there, learned a lot from. What I would have done nutrition wise, I would have actually cooked a lot at home and only topped up in the hotel. When I was going away, I would have baked a good bit and took food with me. So what if I was snacking, I wasn't going down to the local shop in the town or hotel we're staying and buying stuff. You know, I had it with me in the gear bag, and I just took out snacking wise. And before Champions matches, I would have cooked, made a nice breakfast at home, and then went into the hotel and just topped up that I wasn't overeating. I know that all of this carb loading, what I've learned was maybe on a Thursday start to just a wee bit carb more, and then you don't carb load on the day obviously, or Saturday you don't have to big carb loads. So everything's bit by bit, so your body can manage. And again, your body reacts in different ways. Simple example, for whatever reason, I used to always eat pasta and stuff, and sometimes I just didn't feel good eating pasta. And something that I learned, I stopped it straight away, and I always felt better for not eating it before matches. Whatever, I'm not too sure if that's did it work for me or not, but I just find myself that it did work for me. It's just simple things, finding out foods, what dislikes and what works for you, what type of foods,
Yeah, I think even like testing that at training, testing out meals, because like I know myself sometimes certain meals just won't sit right with you, but I do think like nutrition is one of the things you can have. You can write out the best structure, but ultimately it does depend on you. Like, and I was chatting to Colin Cam, was one of the first I had in the podcast, and he was saying, like he would like a meal nearly 1 hour out from a game. I'm pretty sure he said that, and like I would nearly prefer a meal maybe 4 hours out. And other people maybe prefer a wee bit further, a wee bit closer. Like I think everyone's different, but it takes time to you have to kind of work out what works for you, don't you?
Yeah, but funny enough, I think we were sitting down. 2018 we played Tyrone and down in Oma in the championship match in 2018 it was. And we were sitting down there in the dressing rooms, and I always took the small benches in every dress. We don't know why it's just thing I had. It's just thing like to do, just kind of like your own space. And funny enough, Maliki work was just sitting beside me, and he said, "Geez, what have you? How can you control your nerves? What have you done? What have you learned?" I said, "The only thing I learned is I can eat before matches now." That's the only thing I've done over the last decade, that I can learn how to eat properly before matches.
Control that.
I can control that. Anxiety, all that type of stuff it's hard to control. But that's just something you learn over the years. What's good to eat, what's not good to eat.
Would you have had like a specific time? Like, would you want to have made 3 hours out from a game, or would you have been even as tight in that?
Simple as this. I'd have a nice break. I'd get up at, say your championship match is usually at 2 o'clock or at 2:30. Get up early that morning, about 9 o'clock, have a real good breakfast, get me porridge in me, get me eggs for all your avocado, just have a nice normal breakfast as if you would, and then I just top it up. I just top it up at the hotel with spelt bread, so a bit of fruit, and that's me ready to go. And some beetroot juice. That was but I found substitute for taking seemingly, but no, that's what worked for me. That's what I found worked for me, and I was happy to go with that. So you're talking maybe 11:30, 12 o'clock. That's the last time I would that I would snack.
That'd be a light meal.
Again, you're not loading up before a match. You're not loading up at 11:30, 12 o'clock. You're still. By the time you get to the pitch and the time you get to the dressing rooms and pitch, you don't feel loaded, you don't feel full. You feel you're ready to go.
And then kind of like day to day, is it just, do you have a normal enough diet, or are you vegan or anything like that there? Or?
No, I suppose again it's been adaptive and this seeing what's about, seeing what's good. No, I definitely would. I'd make my own lunch. I said I do would have done my own bacon. Any food I was taking, it was all done. I was doing all the cooking. I just learned, and the bacon as well. So I would have my snacks. I knew what. I think it's important. Don't get bogged down on your calories and stuff like that. Because I know there's a couple of apps out there. People get too bogged down. Overeat, undereat, stuff like that. I think. If you get used to what you're making and you know what's going into it,
food quality,
and your food quality that's going into it, that's 100%. I think that all these calorie counting and things like that. When you're training hard in championship season, journey, the weight's gonna fall off you anyway, and it's not gonna affect you. You need the extra calories as well. During that training season.
If it's coming from good quality food as well, that makes such a difference.
It makes a massive. If you're eating good quality food, you can nearly eat vegetables, your good proteins, all that. If you're eating quality food, that's not. That can only be a good thing for your body.
I suppose now, kind of whenever you sit and look back and think back to your debut, if you were going to give advice to yourself back then, the first day, would you give yourself any advice, or would you just say,
don't be a cocky young fella? I think you're gonna light up the lights. I remember playing against Carlow. That was my first match. It was a National League. I think we had our Division 2B. It was down in Carlow. I was given the nod by Colin Kyle at 19, and I did not have a good first half. I think I was whipped off at half time. I got a ball again at half time. I remember getting an 8 at half time, and I remember John Paul beside me. The brother, he says, "You deserve that." I was half forward at the time, and ever since that match, I kind of learned, how to approach things properly. Basically, don't be a young fellow coming in like you're going to shoot up the lights and things like that. There, really tune in and really focus in on what your manager's saying, and surround yourself with the right people and listen to what people are saying to you inside your dressing rooms. But again, that's just a learning process. So it is. That's just over a period of time, buying into what. In fairness, kind of Colin and the backroom team in that time, they were trying to change things within the Mone setup. There was, we went training camps back then as well to Portugal. We were probably the first to go.
Yeah.
And you definitely learned a lot from that. For 5 days, you're up, getting your breakfast, going into training session, back to sleep, maybe get a gym session in, get your food, back to sleep, then out doing another pitch session. Definitely, I was 19 at the time, and you learned a lot in them training camps. The training camps were very valuable. I think 4 in total, very valuable at the time. I thought,
especially when you're a bit younger as well.
Especially when you're a bit younger and you're being open up to all this different type of training and what can you achieve by doing it. If you do things right, what can be achieved by doing it. Yeah.
And any regrets looking back on kind of your career plan from Mone anyway?
No. When you look back, I try not to look back with regrets. As I said, probably at the start, if you lose a match, maybe you didn't play that well that day, or you weren't bordering good that day. The only small regret is not getting into that final. Yes, you'd love more titles, you'd love more also medals in your back pocket, but it doesn't work out that way. I enjoyed every moment playing for Mone, and any young lad that's coming up. I know at the minute there's a time pundits were saying there's a lot of pressure on the county footballers, and a lot of people were saying it's not enjoyable going down. But there's one thing I did with playing at Mone, and I enjoyed every moment of it. Going to training, being in championship matches, being under pressure, things going so well. And then pressure moments, digging your team out, stuff like that. That's all enjoyable. And I remember I had to go to London to do a college year in London. I was still travelling back from London. Travelling back on Thursday, flying back on Sunday. It's definitely no regrets doing that either. It's something that when the Ulster Championship in 2013 that year.
It's worth every minute of it.
That's absolutely so. Any young lad that's coming up, it's definitely, if you're really into your football. Putting on your club or your inter-county jersey, it's a great thing to do, and you always have great memories from it.
Yeah. And then you have had some pretty good years to club level, like you're still obviously playing club for the foreseeable, anyway.
Yeah, luckily enough, last year we won the club championship, and that was my 7th club championship.
Did it get boring after that, man?
No, because we were trying to. You always love to try to win an Ulster title, but we just haven't broke through in that yet, and it's we beat last year in the semi-final. This is the 3rd or 4th semi-final that we've got beat in. No, it's that's where you got your graft for it. It's through your club.
Yeah.
I've really had good managers from juvenile levels right up to senior. At the senior level, the club football was always enjoyable. Especially if you come back off a bad season from inter-county, get back into your club.
Yeah.
It's been fantastic. And in fairness to Herbert, over the last lot of years, I've put in a lot of development work around the pitch. The new pitch now, the running track, gyms up and going 3G just up the road from the pitch. It really is a great setup.
Yeah.
You know, you've got a physio room, you know, dry spas and stuff like that. There, your cryo spa. So it's
All within the club, like.
oh, you know, and that's
Couldn't beat that, like.
no, you can't. And probably win your championships only a bonus because young lads see you winning championships. And it's one thing I have noticed if I in the club, they're all down the pitch, they're in the gym or out kicking ball. And it's great to see, you know. Yeah,
definitely. Always fancy see with like a quick fire round. You say quick fire, you can spend as long as you want on the question, but first one probably a tough one for you because you've had a lot of good ones, but your best GAA moment?
Oh, well I never really put it down to the best GAA moment. I have a lot between winning with my county teammates and my club teammates, but I always thought it was always nice playing for Park with my brother John Paul.
Yeah.
And then Kerry battles them times when we were put in we were in the full back line on the Gooch and Kieran Downey at the time. I always thought there were nice moments, and there was a nice picture. One of the photographer got actually, two of us went off with the ball. I was punching the ball and you could see the ball just dented in against Kieran Downey or Tony Walsh Shannon's. You know, moments like that there, you know, it's nice to say that you played your role in Pro Park. So.
Yeah, you sit back and think about it too, you probably forget it sometimes as well.
Oh, you do, you probably forget it because you're in this bubble and you just want to, with football you just want to keep winning as much as you can, keep playing, keep winning as much as you can. Probably when you're sitting back, they're nice memories to have, nice moments. You know, as I said, winning stuff is fantastic, but just moments like that there is also good.
Yeah, I even shared with someone so closely. Like on the flip then, the worst moment.
Well, it was near to my worst moment when I nearly finished playing for one without scoring a goal, but lucky enough
Seriously?
I got a goal for them in 2018 and was off my weaker foot, so I was looking. that could have been the worst moment of my career.
That would have been only one goal.
One goal.
2004.
One goal. Plenty of points, but just one goal.
Just wasn't.
I always let it off. I always was the team player.
That's what I always tell myself as well. Hardest opponent you marked?
Listen, I would always ask that question. I would probably never answer because I was still playing. Probably not still playing. I don't mind as much.
You don't want to give any mind games away.
You always don't give any mind games away. And listen, there's been loads. You know, like Benny Coulter, he was always hard to mark because he was always looking to get goals. But that's nearly the worst players. Marked like Paddy Bradley and Gooch, Brendan Devaney.
Paddy Bradley was good in his day. Like,
he was, he had a good left peg on him. He had good with his movement and you know, we'd all them players. They're all hard to mark. I never wanted to middle at the time, but all them players, you know, you're always kept on your toes. That's.
Were you nearly always given like the man marking?
Yeah, back then, it was the man marker role. So that's why you're probably going in with pressure like that you don't want to get a roasting, or else the pundits will be
falls on you.
The falls on me. The pundits will be out for you.
After a win, what was the best kind of partying session or any that you can bring to mind?
It was probably when the manager lets you out at any time after. A couple of league matches is the nights out are always great, I have to say. But I suppose probably one of the ones really probably with Mone was 2013. For so long, 25 years, the last time we won it. And just to see the crowd, people, the town that night, the crowds that come out was unbelievable, and just everybody was just happy. Everybody, you know, what you did for the people who won that day was to have that said that you done that for the people who won the team that you had. It was quality. It was fantastic.
And then final one, we kind of probably already touched on this, but if you're giving any advice to any young lads listening, any young girls, whoever it is, what would it be?
Yeah, well, just any young lads and ladies are want to tune into this is, you know, sport's not easy. There's no question about it. There's probably more bad days and good days, but when the good days come around, they definitely really make up from them bad days. Enjoy every moment because it's only a small part of your life. You know, realistically, you might be able to only give 10 years short or whatever. I was looking at 16 years towards one, but that's something I enjoyed. I never listen to any negative talk, and it's always important to surround yourself with good people. think once you surround yourself with good people and taking on good advice on board, that's always key to keep your interest in sport, whatever sport you go down, whatever route you go down. I think it's important to block out any negativity and surround yourself with good people.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Dessie, thank you very much for giving us your time. Thanks for coming on.
No problem.
That's us.
Yeah, sound. Alright, was it?
Perfect.